And now on to Chapter 4, the name of which is Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew?
Twilight's library was dark. Only minuscule tendrils of light streaked through closed blinds. Dust hung in the air, sinking ever so slowly before being picked up by an updraft once more. Candlelight flickered, casting long shadows across the wooden floor. A lavender form sat in the center of the room, eyes fixated on a single book, moving left to right over and over in a repeating pattern all too familiar to the pony. Loud knocking interrupted her reading and jarred her thoughts.
Who is it?
She called out. A familiar voice answered,
Tweedledee and Tweedlelas, the hell in! Calm down, Pinky, jeez. You really should take your bipolar medication,
replied another familiar voice, this time with an unmistakable southern drawl. Twilight rose to her hooves and trudged to the door.
What do you guys want?
She asked, head barely poking out from the doorway.
We're here to tell you that there's a way to fix all this mess,
replied Applejack.
Celestia found a way.
Twilight perked up a small amount.
She did?
Twilight asked.
Yeah, she says she has to, troll the internet back into oblivion?
Twilight's eyes widened.
Get in,
she said plainly. Applejack and Pinkie Pie strained to see inside Twilight's dark home.
Sorry about the outburst, AJ.
Pinkie apologized, popping 2 small white pills into her mouth and then swallowing.
Give me 10 minutes. That'll be fine.
AJ's gaze shifted back from Pinkie to Twilight.
So what does that mean, troll the internet back into oblivion?
Applejack asked curiously.
I assume the princess has already explained the concept of trolling to you?
Twilight inquired. Applejack nodded.
Well, good for you. I had to learn the hard way. Anyway, if she really has the raw natural talent, then it may be possible to defeat the internet once and for all. But if she's going to do it, she needs help.
Help? Okay. Continue.
I'm sorry, Sugar Cube. Did you just say help?
Twilight flinched.
Oh no, it's already begun. Okay, listen. Applejack, you and Pinkie Pie need to do me a favor. Go to Sugar Cube Corner and get me as much Mountain Dew Code Red as possible.
Applejack's face contorted in confusion.
But what in the hay is going on?
She asked.
Celestia can't do it on her own. We all need to help. Now GTFO! And don't come back until you have all the Mountain Dew!
With that, she butted them out the door, leaving Applejack to supply them with Mountain Dew. Pinkie Pie, however, simply laid on the ground in a puddle of her own saliva, her medication finally kicking in.
Pinkie? You okay?
Pinkie's ear twitched in response, just before she sprang up from the ground, eye to eye with Applejack.
Oh, hi, Applejack. What are we doing, getting Mountain Dew? That sounds like so much fun. I can't wait to get back and bring them to Twilight. Oh, I never knew she liked soda. Isn't that strange? I thought you knew everything about every pony.
Applejack shook her head incredulously.
You worry me, darling.
A loud knock on the door jarred Twilight from her concentrated state.
Who is it? What do you want?
Applejack's voice responded.
We got your freaky-deaky red drink, but there's something you may want to see.
Applejack walked to the door and swung it open.
Get in, now.
Applejack and Pinkie didn't object, and trotted inside, Twilight slamming a large wooden door of the library behind them. Applejack set down a pallet of Mountain Dew and took a seat, Pinkie joining her. She stared at them intently, scanning them for something.
You weren't stopped by anything, were you?
She asked them.
No, Sugar Cube. Why do you ask?
AJ responded. Twilight looked away.
Don't touch, talk to, communicate with, or interact with anything abnormal. The internet feeds off of that. Anyway, what did you want to show me?
Applejack motioned for Twilight to follow, ascending the stairs, leaving Pinkie Pie in a near comatose state.
Check it out,
she said, pointing a hoof out Twilight's bedroom window. Twilight peered outside, scanning the landscape for anything abnormal. As she did, a slender black shape became visible, dancing in Ponyville Town Square. Insert GIF of dancing troll face here. Twilight slammed the curtains shut.
Dear Celestia, you didn't communicate with it, did you? Did you even look at it for more than a second or two?
Applejack shook her head lamely, still finding the gravity of the situation hard to grasp. Before she could ask Twilight what this thing was, Twilight bolted past her and stared over the banister just outside her room, staring at Pinkie Pie.
Pinkie?
She began.
Are you down there?
Pinkie didn't respond. Instead, she stared ahead, her face not visible to Twilight.
Pinkie?
Pinkie turned, revealing a face that was no longer her own, but contorted into sickly black lines forming a wicked smile. Insert troll face here. Twilight's heart skipped a beat as she slammed the door shut. Applejack spun around from Twilight's window to face her.
What? What is it? What's going on?
Twilight shot her a glare.
I thought you said you didn't communicate with it. I didn't, Twi. But did Pinkie?
Applejack's eyes lowered. Twilight sensed this and approached her.
Did she?
She repeated. Applejack's honesty shone through once more, forcing out the truth.
Okay.
She began.
On the way here, she argued with it, but only for a second, before I dragged her away.
Twilight groaned in frustration.
Even arguing with the trolls for a measly second can be enough.
Applejack's face contorted in confusion.
Wait.
She began.
I thought you and the princess were doing the trolling. The trolls have already found their way here.
Twilight responded.
And they got Pinkie. The only thing left to do is meet up with the princess and hope we can stop it in time.
An eerie tune came from the center of the library and creeped into Twilight's room. No 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 no. Oh ho 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 ho.
Come on,
Twilight said.
we have to leave now. But it's so catchy.
Applejack replied, becoming transfixed in the tune's simple yet addicting sound.
Now!
With that, the room filled with a white flash and the two were gone.
And now this chapter is done.
On to chapter 5.
5? Yes. Okay. Or, yes.
Okay. Name of this chapter? Trollololololol.
Oh.
A bright flash in the center of her large bedroom startled Celestia. She looked to its source and immediately noticed two figures.
Applejack, Twilight, I'm glad you're here. Things have gotten worse. We know, Princess.
Replied Twilight.
The trolls got Pinkie.
Applejack's gaze lowered, and Princess Celestia's eyes widened.
Then it is even worse than I feared. The internet has now full entered our world. The time to act is now.
Princess Celestia explained.
Twilight, I trust you've already experienced trolling, so I have no doubt that you will be able to pick up on it quickly. Applejack, watch closely and try to follow our lead.
With that, 3 computer terminals formed in the center of the room. Celestia did not hesitate and immediately sat down at one of them. Twilight followed, and soon after, Applejack joined in. Celestia and Twilight both opened up Firefox and within minutes created accounts for YouTube, Reddit, Tumblr, 9gag, Twitter, and even the dreaded 4chan. Within another 3 minutes, both the Princess and Twilight had also created accounts for World of Warcraft, Team Fortress 2, and even Counter-Strike. Applejack, on the other hand, was stuck in the registration process for YouTube.
Twilight, go help Applejack with her accounts. I'll take control in the meantime.
Twilight agreed, and hopped up from her monitor to walk over to help AJ.
Okay, there. You're all set up with your accounts.
She said after a few minutes of rushed typing.
Why is my username bitchcake8939?
Applejack inquired.
Don't worry about that. Just watch what the princess and I do and try to copy it.
By this time, Celestia had already downloaded 6 different hacked clients for Counter-Strike, 5 for Team Fortress, and even managed to hack the World of Warcraft servers, allowing her to attack and kill players on site. The trolling has officially started.
Princess, how's the progress?
Asked Twilight.
Good, my student. I'll focus my efforts on making these noobs rage quit. You troll the forums you can. Don't stop until all profiles have been abandoned from total rage quit. On it.
From Princess Celestia's headset, explosions and raging voices could be heard.
No, you're a homo. No, you're gay. Well, you sound like a 5-year-old. Headshot, headshot, headshot. What are you gonna do? Headshot. Yeah, I'm hacking. What are you gonna do? Go ahead, call the admins. I'll hack them too. Headshot. You mad? Yeah, dude, you're mad.
Celestia's normally regal and flowing voice had dulled into a far less civilized one. A thin, wide grin had formed on her face.
Celestia, how many noobs have you made rage quit?
Twilight called over.
Looks to be about 40. How many accounts have you gotten shut down? By my numbers, at least 20. Although I've begun to resort to directly hacking their accounts and changing their info, deleting friends and contacts, posting embarrassing pictures and statuses, so on and so forth. Good, my student. You are learning well. Applejack, how many people have you trolled? Well, none. But I did meet this nice fella from Boston, wherever that is.
Oh, the irony, replied the orange mare.
Damn it, AJ! We're supposed to troll the users, not befriend them. Tell him he's ugly, and that he probably lives with his mom.
No, people from Boston don't need that, scolded Twilight.
But he's so nice.
No!
Insert okay face here.
Applejack, don't use rage faces. You're only going to give it strength.
Scolded the unicorn once more.
Okay, jeez. I can't do any of this right, so I'll just go keep watch over at that window.
Replied Applejack, pointing to a window on the far wall.
Okay, tell us if there's any immediate danger.
Applejack gave a small salute and took her position at the window.
Twilight? Things are getting weird out here. We know, Applejack. The internet is a weird thing. That is why we must destroy it once and for all.
The constant clicking and clacking of keys went on for hours into the night. Beads of sweat dripped from both Twilight and the princess. They'd each both trolled well over a few thousand users, and had already put a dent in the number left. The only problem was that whatever was already here would only disappear after the internet had been completely trolled into oblivion.
Applejack, report.
Ordered the princess.
Well, there are cats everywhere. There's some guy down in Canterlot singing a song that has no words. This weird mouth thing keeps firing its laser. There are cats made of pastries flying around, pooping rainbows, and Rick Astley has officially made a comeback. Twilight, we must troll faster,
began Celestia.
This is going to require much more than run-of-the-mill Mountain Dew. We need Mountain Dew pitch black.
Dun, dun, dun. Applejack's eyes widened.
But, Princess, pitch black is nothing but caffeine, water, and sugar. It's caused more diabetes than Paula Dean's cooking. It's the only way we can get the energy needed to troll at the rate we need. Its pure sugary diabetes-inducing intensity would drive even the burliest of ponies completely loopy. The only pony to have survived it was Derpy, and she's got a severe case of the derps. It's the only way,
replied Celestia plainly. With that, 2 bottles of Mountain Dew Pitch Black synthesized on the desks which held up Celestia's and Twilight's monitors. Without hesitation, both uncapped and downed their drink, increasing the rate of their typing. The rate of trolling increased dramatically with the caffeine, sending them both into hyper-focus. Twilight had trolled another, and then 3 more, 10 more, 50 more, 300 more! Applejack could only watch in amazement as the two performed a feat only ever dreamed of by trolls everywhere. They were trolling the entire internet. Not a single internet user was safe. Grandmothers and Yahoo Answers were victims, as well as 12-year-olds on Facebook, and God help those who found themselves on Twitter. After a time, however, the internet began to fight back. One can only pester a giant so far until it retaliates. From outside the castle's windows, the Nyan Cat song could easily be heard, and even Rick Astley began to filter in through the glass. The castle shook as a blast from a rather powerful laser ripped a large hole in the eastern wing.
Celestia, exactly how long is this gonna take?
Asked Applejack nervously.
At this rate, less than 20 minutes,
responded the regal pony.
WTF?
Boom! The very foundation of the structure shook, and plastered dust rained from the ceiling as the castle shifted and resettled.
What in the question was that?
Asked Applejack, clearly shaken at what had just happened.
The internet is starting to use its most powerful weapons,
answered Twilight.
This is going to get rough.
Twilight was right. Over the course of the next 10 or so minutes, several more lasers and WTF bombs shook the land. Now bricks fell from the ceiling, and windows were shattered. AJ desperately tried to cover them up with wood planks before who knows what crawls through them. Applejack peered through a small open space between two planks.
Why is there a human out there with long blonde hair and really homoerotic purple spandex pants?
Twilight's eyes widened.
Is there music with it? I think so. The words don't make any sense, and the singing is really high-pitched, but it's so catchy, I can't stop listening to it. Applejack, get away from the window! Hey, yeah, 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 it's one of the worst but most addicting songs on the internet!
What's going on?
Applejack didn't move, but kept her eyes fixated out the window.
Applejack, you have to get away from the window! We only need another minute! The homoerotic superhero is gone, but there are about 3 warlocks, a mage, and 2 gnats outside ready to charge. Applejack, get away from the window!
It was too late. By the time that Twilight had uttered the last word, a single warlock had smashed through the window, sending Applejack flying. Leroy Jenkins!
Celestia, how long until the process is completed?
Twilight asked, Leroy now turning his attention to her.
I have one left, but he's harder than I thought. He's been able to stop all my hacks, and I've been unable to think of a witty comeback whenever he backtrolls me. Can you hack into the site and give yourself admin privileges?
Twilight asked, Leroy Jenkins now closing in on her.
I suppose. Why?
Twilight managed to dodge his blind charge, giving her a moment of time.
Use the banhammer!
With a rapid succession of keystrokes, the banhammer was seconds from use. Leroy was now less than 10 feet in closing. Twilight curled up, expecting the worst. Ben, 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 ben.
Ban gifts.
Yes. Twilight looked up. Leroy was gone. And Applejack was awakening over by the far wall where she'd landed. Twilight looked around. All was fixed. Any evidence that the internet had ever been in Equestria was now gone. The computers that sat on the desk displayed, Firefox could not open page. You are not connected to the internet. At last, peace was restored to Equestria once more.
Yay, happy ending.
Thank you, and good night.